Welcome back to Trumbull Valley. I am still on my quest to claim the Farmland Compound, and that's going to mean grabbing a lot of influence. So there's several ways I can do that. One of them is trading. So I'm actually on my way right now to a trader to try to sell a bunch of the stuff I don't need. We've also got a mission here with the can of whoop-ass, which is the zombie trappers. So that should be fun. And then I think we just barely launched one of Mickey's missions. So we'll probably finish up on that. So let's head out to this trader and see what we can sell and go from there. All right. Let's get past this juggernaut here. Wah! Okay. What is the right way to navigate this town? It's hard to know. All right, let's go talk to this guy and see what he has to offer.
Hey there.
Whoa! This house is so full of stuff. I'll have to come back here later.
I got some stuff to trade.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, you folks are right. You do get more out of those the close combat weapons. Lately, what I've been just mulching them into parts. But folks have been telling me that I should be selling them. You can get more, we get more out of them by selling them for influence, and that is true. You can.
Let's make a deal.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what this guy's selling. See if there's something I can buy that will sort of counterbalance this stuff. He doesn't have anything super exciting in here. Light vehicle upgrade kit. That's 300. Thing is, what have I got to sell him? I've got like 150. Let's just grab this repair kit. And then I'll sell him more of this stuff. Oh, can't quite sell this last thing. Oh well, that's fine. Close enough. If this guy had any more influence to offer, I would probably... Actually, let's drop this off too. I would probably just raid his entire house for stuff. But we're not going to do that right now. J.W. Dillinger asks, if you could create a game from scratch, would you stick with the zombie theme? In a way, I'm asking, is a zombie survival game something you wanted to see? So, before I worked at Undead Labs, I did want to make a zombie survival game. In fact, the thing that drew me to Undead Labs and that drew Undead Labs to me as a potential employee... I'll let Martinez talk here for a sec. It was the fact that I was so interested in doing a zombie apocalypse game, a zombie survival game. And so that has a huge part to do with it. But we've been making zombie survival games now for ages. We've been working on State of Decay 2 since, like, I don't know, 2015 or 2014 or something like that, to various degrees. And State of Decay 1 dates back, for years before it came out. And so folks like Brant, who've been working on it basically from the beginning, have been working on this for ages and ages. And we're still working on another game for the future. I wanted to grab this guy, yeah. And so we've been doing this a lot. And so if we were to start a new thing from scratch, it would probably not be just another angle on the zombie apocalypse. We've done that before. But we probably would want to lean into... like the things that we've shown that we as a team can do well. And so I think there's a lot of aspects of State of Decay that I think would probably carry over to future game projects. Because, we don't want to just, squander... Like, we've developed this weird combination of features, this weird sort of vibe to this game that really is kind of different from a lot of the other games that are out there. It would be kind of wasteful for us not to keep trying to explore that space where we've sort of established a specialty. So what exactly that would be, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if we came up with a new IP, it would probably not be a zombie IP. We'd probably want to do something else that's still in our wheelhouse, but just let State of Decay be our zombie game. We've got this zombie game, and we could probably keep working on this on and off forever if we wanted to. Wait, they want me to take a zombie alive?
All you have to do is run. The beasts will flock to you like moths to a flame. Just don't kill them.
Okay. So we're going to go clear a barn of Zeds without killing them. I haven't done some of these missions before as a player. I've only been vaguely aware of them as a developer on the project. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out for me. Which I think I might be playing this particular one as a player for the first time. Let's go over here and see if we can clear this barn. I imagine I can just honk my horn and drag them out, right? Oh, you know, Stuff said that he used his horn, so yeah, that's probably a good way to go. Yeah, so J.W. Gillinger points out that we are called Undead Labs, which does kind of indicate that we should be making zombie games. And honestly, like, we've often questioned whether it was a good idea to call ourselves Undead Labs, because that does seem to indicate we'll only ever work on zombie games. It makes the next thing we do a little bit awkward. Yes.
I suppose it could have been worse. Gotta stay alert. This could get bad fast.
All right, so now we've got this mission
Sounds like a plan.
to go after
Hey, Mickey,
Mickey's
if you
stuff.
were serious about letting us raid the stashes you mentioned, could you point out a couple?
I can do that.
So, if I was clever, I probably could have found these stashes on my own just by searching the map, and that is possible to do. But this mission right now, where they're sending me to go find those stashes, exists specifically because, of course, most players are not going to do that. Most players are going to have actually a lot of trouble running around and just finding, in a map this huge, running around and just finding a couple of little Wilkerson stashes. And it's not going to be like trying to just scour the world for them. It's not going to be a very satisfying gameplay. So we just go in there presuming that most players are not going to do that. And instead, you know, whenever we get to the point where actually whenever we get to the point where the player's done enough of Ray's missions, enough of the Cleo missions, that it's time to finish Mickey's story arc, we just spawn a mission that tells you exactly where the stashes are. So you can find them early if you want to. But, yeah, you can find, but yeah, we will eventually give you some help to find them. Yeah, if you need it. So, okay, I'm going to go to this one first, because I'm pretty sure that this is the one that spawns the next mission in his series. So let's do this one first. So I'll mark that one with the yellow marker. Or I guess I could have just realized it was the one to the left on the compass, but whatever. It's further away, but we can make it. Ah! So, let's see here. Quantum Priest asks, as a member of the development team, do you find it difficult to view the game as an objective player, or are you consistently seeing the underlying scripts and code which detracts from the overall experience? That's a good question. It's hard, well, I mean, because it's my perspective we're talking about, it's hard to separate myself from my perspective enough to be sure. Because I played the original State of Decay as a player first. I was hired 2 weeks after the game came out, and I bought it at release, and immediately, you know, spent a lot of that 2 weeks playing the game. So I love that game as a fan. And I feel like, you know, I at least started on that team as somebody with a fresh outside perspective as a player of the game, not just as a member of the team. But State of Decay 2, I was involved with from day one. And so I've watched this game kind of grow from basically nothing into what it is today. And so that does give you a little bit of a different perspective on it. Like, over time, your value as a representative of the audience does degrade. Like, each time we hire somebody new to the team, we ask them to take notes about, you know, their experience playing the game. Because, you know, even if they played the game before they joined us, we still ask them to do a lot of intensive playing to really get, you know, accustomed to the game and how it works before, you know, just starting to work on it. And we ask them to give us, you know, detailed notes and feedback, because it's really, really valuable to have somebody who's that close to us, you know, telling us, you know, what their experience is like, and basically acting as, you know, kind of a frontline gameplay tester. You do lose a little bit of that perspective, where, you know, and I think the biggest problem lies in, you know, the tendency to try to play the game perfectly, like what you're seeing me do right now. Like, I'm playing this in the optimal way because I'm aware of where things are. I know that I'm pretty sure anyway, unless I just misremembered something. Oh wait, where? Over there? Okay. Unless I misremembered something, I'm pretty sure that this stash is not the one that kicks off the next mission. So I'm going to it first because I want the mission to flow as smoothly as possible. I have completely forgotten how to get up here. And the fact that it's dark isn't helping. But yeah, so I'm deliberately playing it in the optimal way, and you do that. You tend to do that a lot when you're working on a game, just because usually you're trying to when you're working on a game, you're trying to fix one particular thing about it or investigate one particular thing about it, and so introducing a bunch of chaos into your playthrough just isn't in your interest. You want to play it optimally. Okay, this is the wrong place to be. You want to play it optimally. I'm sitting here talking about playing it optimally while I'm getting completely lost and have no idea where I'm going, but whatever. You want to play it optimally just so you can sort of zero in on the parts that are actually busted, the parts that you're actually focused on. But that can also become a habit that prevents you from noticing problems because you're playing it in the way it was meant to be played, which is often not at all the way that players are actually playing the game. And you can sort of get separated from the real player experience and not even realize problems with it unless you're listening to the audience. Let's try to see if we can get up this way. This might be it. Aha, there we go. This is the way we're trying to go. Yeah, I have come up here once before, but I forgot how to get up here. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that place looks about right.
Yes, Wilkerson's stash.
I think they heard that.
So, and there's also, like, when you've worked on a game a ton, it is also possible to get very tired of the game. So your reactions to the game will not be those of a, excited new player. Your reactions will be those of a really jaded player who's tired of the game's bullshit. And so you'll sometimes actually be one of the more negative players when you're playing your own game, which can sometimes make it hard for people to play their game at all. There's a lot, through most of my career, I was working on games that were not the type of games that I would normally play naturally. And so I would play the games that I'd made as a part of my job, but it would be like torture. I would compare it to the original story of The Little Mermaid, where every step she took on land felt like knives stabbing into her feet. Like, that's what it felt like to play my own game when I was working on, like, games based on kids' movies and stuff like that. Like, that was just not the type of game I was into, and so playing my own game under those conditions was very difficult. I feel like I'm incredibly lucky, because I think that's a really common experience for developers, to be working on a game that is not the kind of thing they play in their spare time. And so I feel extremely lucky to be working on a game that I went and I tried to get this job specifically because this was the kind of game that I wanted to play. And I was lucky enough to actually land this job, which was, not a guarantee by any means. And a lot of luck went into it. Again, I've missed it. But yeah, so I'm extremely lucky that this is actually a game I enjoy. Because it is not a guarantee at all. And even if you would theoretically enjoy a particular game that you're working on, the fact that you've worked on it and you've gotten very, very tired of it, like you've had to play through certain parts of it again and again and again and again, will sometimes put you in a position where you're just like, no, I can't. I've just worked on this game all day. I cannot look at it anymore. So that's where the problem comes in, really. Another fake A47, love that. Here's a family photo.
That's weird. Why would somebody keep an old photograph in a supply stash? Mickey said he had brothers. I wonder if that's who these two guys are. Hey, Mickey. I found something you might want to see. Where are you?
I'm down at the bar in Spencer's Mill. Come on by. We got plenty of open tables.
I'll get there as soon as I can.
All right. So, grabbing that stash. So I could have grabbed that stash at any time. And this stash is actually pretty close to the one that Meki first introduces you to. And so it's not unreasonable to think that some players would find it on their own, just searching around in the same area. But most players won't find it. So, but that is where that stash is. Right around there somewhere on the map. So now I've kicked off the next Mickey mission, and we're on our way to completing his storyline. And that was another one of my sort of conditions. Not only did I want to make sure I got to spend some time at the Farmland Compound before we legacy and get out of Trumbull Valley, I also really, really wanted to make sure that I played through all of the story missions. So that includes Mickey's storyline. So it looks like we're actually making progress on my goals here. So let's get through this Mickey mission. And because these are sort of central story missions, I'm pretty sure they give you more influence than some other missions. So I think this also feeds into my influence acquisition goal.
You might be okay after all.
Habitual Bell points out this is the same bar we had to go get Brock in Heartland. That is true. Yeah, I think that was deliberate. I think that we're like deliberately trying to like do callbacks to old locations. Come on, Mickey. You're supposed to be a better shot than that.
Time to put him away.
Gladius is pretty nice, right?
The service here is pretty shitty, but you can stay as long as you like.
So Redline wants to know, is the Wilkerson story the main thing to take care of? Like, when the Wilkerson story is over, is the game over? Well, so you have a lot of control over when your story is over in Trumbull Valley. Your story in Trumbull Valley ends when you either leave the map or when you complete your legacy, whatever that is. So as long as you don't do your final legacy mission, you know, you can stick around in Trumbull Valley as long as you want to. Even if you kill the last Plague Heart, you still have to get through your full legacy mission before you're kind of required to leave. And we're even questioning whether that was a smart idea, making it so that you kind of have to end your campaign after you complete a legacy. But you know, that's something for us to continue to think about in the background. In the meantime, though, so completing Mickey's legacy, Mickey's storyline, that is key to earning an achievement. There's an achievement that's based on completing Mickey's storyline, but Mickey's storyline is actually one of several storylines in here. One of them, the Cleo storyline, I think actually requires you to defeat all of the Plague Hearts before it will finish up. I think that you won't get access to the Haven device until you've completed all the Plague Hearts. So sitting on the final Plague Heart, I think, is not going to help you complete all the Trumbull Valley storylines. I think you should kill that last Plague Heart. Just don't complete your legacy. Your legacy missions, you can identify them because they get this like green treatment up here. So do the main Trumbull Valley missions, actually, come to think of it. But if they'll say the name of your leader, so Trader, the Broker, this is a legacy mission. So as long as I don't ever go on this mission, I'm safe from the game ending on me. So I can keep chasing like the Wilkerson missions and stuff like that for as long as I want to until they're completed. So the storylines in Trumbull Valley, for those of you who don't know, is the Cleo storyline, the Tressie storyline, the Isby storyline, the Mickey storyline, and the Ray Santos storyline. I think there's 5 main storylines, plus some other like little ones scattered around. And so once you've sort of seen a finale for all of those missions, you're basically good. Once Tressie gives you the Grow Chem, once Mickey and Ray have moved into the church, once Cleo has given you the Haven device, once Isby has collected all those Cleo drops with you, that's when you're done. Oh, and I guess once you've claimed the Red Talon base and done all the missions with Chavez, that's when you're done with the Trumbull Valley storylines. Okay, so anyway, let's talk to Mickey.
What's so important that you came all the way over here? Well, shit. Where the hell did you find this? That there's my little brother, Eli. He died. Back around the time everything went to hell.
I'm sorry to hear that. Who's the other guy?
That's Jacob Ritter. Kind of a dipshit. But Eli sure liked him.
Ritter? Like Lily Ritter? That network lady you've been talking to on the radio?
Yeah, she used to live around here. Jacob was her older brother. He and Eli, well, they tried to keep it quiet for all kinds of reasons, but everybody knew. None of us made it easy on him, that's for sure. It's nice to see him happy like this. Hey, this old photo gives me an idea. Come here, will you?
Oh, hey, Redline, yes, if you have not assigned a leader to your community yet, or if you've, like, demoted your leader, then, yeah, you absolutely can kill the last Plague Heart without any fear of the legacy mission kicking in. That's, I think you might end up... I'm trying to remember if we have a mission that is, like, encouraging you to pick a leader to push you towards your legacy. I don't remember if we have that or not. It's something we talked about at one point. But yeah, that's a great way to ensure you don't accidentally complete your legacy. Hey there, Jedi Cytrix. Thanks for joining us. Cogs, it wouldn't be crazy for us to sort of do a Wilkerson Stashes type mission, or do a discovery type treatment on some of the rare weapon cases and some of the other maps. I don't know if we would necessarily do it on the rare weapon cases or let them continue to be what they are and add something else. But we have been contemplating that. I think Joe in particular has got some ideas for stuff he'd like to do with the discovery system if he gets a chance.
I know something that might get Lily to talk to me. Wanna help me out? Good call. I'll mark where we're headed on your map.
I just realized this is one of 2 different missions in Trumbull Valley where your goal is to get a woman to talk to a guy who she doesn't want to talk to. I hadn't... That's kind of it. That's weird. I mean, in every case, the guy has good intentions. And it actually is, like, somebody trying to...
So what's the big plan?
Somebody trying to make right something that went wrong in the past. And it's about,
Lily's
you know...
got some rare disease.
Yeah.
She manages all right, as long as she's got some real specific meds. My brother Job thought it'd be funny to hide a bunch of what she needed, in case we needed leverage. I know, it's a shitty thing to do. Job was always crafty like that, and, well, I just went along with it. I can hear you, silently judging me. Believe me,
yeah.
You ain't thinking anything that I ain't thought already.
So yeah, in both of these missions, the guy's intentions are really good. Like, he's like, super positive intentions, really wants to make the world better, really wants to make life better for the woman in question, and isn't trying to be possessive or weird or strange about it.
I gotta admit, I'm on the fence with this.
But
I know it don't look like much. That's the point.
it's still just when you can describe your mission without getting into the details. If the high-level description of your mission sounds problematic, that can still be an issue, even if knowing the specifics of the mission actually kind of redeems it. It's still, if it sounds weird, that can still be a problem. Oh yeah, you take care of that person. I'll take care of this one.
Someone left. This must be what we're looking for.
You sure? Let me take a look. Hell yeah. Maybe now Lily will give me the time of day. Lily, you out there? It's Mickey again.
I'm tired of this game, Mickey.
I found this old photo of Eli and Jacob. Thought you might want to take a look.
You called me because of a photograph?
Well, I also might just have stumbled across a big stash of prednisone. Barely even expired. Now what do you say? Am I worth your time?
All right, Mickey. Now you have my attention. I have someone in town who's coming back my way soon. I'll send you a meet location. But don't you make me regret this, Mickey Wilkerson. Understood?
Yeah. I mean, yes, ma'am.
So, J.W. Dillinger, you are a person after my own heart. All of the comments that you're making are exactly along the lines of what we've been thinking lately. About, wanting to have forever communities, wanting to be able to sort of more easily sidestep the question of whether you want to complete a legacy on a given campaign. And the idea that maybe, if we did make legacies not nearly as important a part of the game for long-term players, what would that mean to the value of a leader? Leaders are mostly about their legacies, and so we'd want to come up with some other reason to value your leaders. So there's all, yeah, those are definitely lines we thought along.
I don't have much of that left.
I'm not making any promises, of course, because we got to figure out whether those, you know, whether solutions to those issues
I'm over here.
are actually things that we want to do, and if they, you know, if they, you know, supersede other priorities. So I can't make any promises, but those are lines that we've thought along, and so it's kind of fun hearing the same thoughts coming from you.
Yeah, I thought you might come by. Lily says you've got a delivery for her?
Damn straight. We got some of Lily's meds. I figure this must be hard to track down these days.
And you'd be right. So what's the catch?
Ain't no catch. I'm just trying to do the right thing for once in my damn life. We also found this old picture of her brother. I promise. I'll get you a copy real soon. I figure Isby's gotta know how to do that.
All right. Well, I'll make sure Lily gets the medicine. I guess maybe you Wilkersons aren't all bad.
Yeah, thanks. Later.
Still mostly bad.
Yeah? What are you looking at?
You act like you're a tough guy. Maybe that's all it is. An act.
Do me a favor, all right? You didn't see any of that. Got it? If people start thinking I've gone soft, this valley's gonna go straight to hell.
Sounds good.
Here's a little something for your trouble.
He's there.
See you later.
Hasta la vista.
So am I going to worry about Alexis over here? I think she's got this. Oh, maybe not. There you go, Alexis. So yeah, ever since Sunny Games made that video, awesome Twitch dude, people have been asking about Chariot. And, you know, I mean, I'm just treating that like a lightning rod. Like, great, you guys all worry about what Chariot is. Meanwhile, we'll work on the actual things we're working on instead of that nonsense. I mean, it's not, you know, nonsense. That word really does exist, but it's not... It doesn't represent anything that you should expect to come out in an update. I mean, it's a very common thing for game developers to just, you know, start partway down an experimental path and then stop and go in a different direction and then stop and go in another direction. And you'll be able to find, if you data mine the game, you'll be able to find little remnants all over the place of different things that we tried and didn't, you know, follow all the way through. And so you'll find names of things that don't make any sense. You'll find, you know, references to stuff that doesn't exist, and that's just all it is. You know, it's just stuff that that, you know, we just never ended up deciding to follow through with. There's all kinds of you're gonna find all kinds of things like that in the game, you know. And so that particular one, because it sounds like a secret code word, like people have, you know, latched onto it like it's meaningful. It's not particularly meaningful. So just, you know. It's definitely not some grand indication of what's coming in the future or anything like that. All right, so how are we doing as far as influences? We're at 2837 influence. That's not too bad. Let's head down here and see if we can deal with this infestation. Oh, wait. Okay, so here's one complaint that that I think that, I don't know how often players complain about this, but the map does not show impassable areas at all. It's really hard to use our map to plan a route to a place because the big rocks that are in the way, can't see them. So you can't just point yourself at something and just drive in that direction and expect to get there. And you don't really, aside from just your pre-existing knowledge of where stuff is on the map, you can't use the map either. Woohoo!
I know a lot of people who swear by the machete for killing zombies. But personally, I'd vibe to the sound of 30 ounces of aluminum hitting their skulls.
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind exploding? Thank you. Can I sneak around to the left, or do I have to actually wait for that bloater cloud to go away? Oh, there we go. Yes, we can go around it. Cool. Yeah, Redline, it was really interesting when we were working on State of Decay 2. I don't think... It wasn't really that easy for us to guess what percentage of our audience would have played the original State of Decay, because the original State of Decay was actually an astonishingly successful Xbox Live Arcade game on the Xbox 360. So it did have a fairly large audience, but we know that like the audience for Xbox Live Arcade games during that era was really different. Oh, that wasn't really an infestation. Whatever. Was really different from the audience of a larger scale game that actually had a marketing push behind it, you know, or a game that was on Game Pass, which is a very different service from Xbox Live Arcade. And so it was hard to estimate like how many people would be familiar with State of Decay and how many people would be seeing State of Decay 2 as their very first entry in the genre. And so Redline is talking about how, you know, he never played the original State of Decay and was just a State of Decay 2 player, but a State of Decay 2 player from day one. And so, yeah, so I think people, you know, people who played the original State of Decay, you know, Trumbull Valley is a huge nostalgia hit for them. But for you, I'm actually curious what your experience in Trumbull Valley was, since this is not, I mean, I guess you said that you played a bunch of Heartland, right? So maybe you actually are, this is a nostalgia hit for you too, because you played Heartland 2 years ago. And this is sort of nostalgic for that. But yeah, I am curious, like since you didn't have any personal attachments to Trumbull Valley until you saw it, like I'm curious, like whether you played it for the first time in Heartland or right now, I'm curious what your estimation of it was, like what you know, how you valued it, I guess. Okay, so Redline says that he did love Heartland, and so yeah, so probably Trumbull Valley is not. It's not like Trumbull Valley was completely out of nowhere, since you were familiar with it from Heartland. Awesome Twitch dude. No, you can't request that I stream the Kung Fu Panda game that I worked on ages ago, because it was a Kinect game, and I don't have a Kinect set up in here, and you don't want to watch me try to play a Kinect anyway. So sorry. It was also a Wii game, and I don't have a Wii in here. And it was a, I think we had a PS3 version. I also do not have a PS3 in here. And I doubt it's on the list of backward compatible games. So yeah, I think that's a game that is probably lost to history. And also, it's the most terrible game that I've ever worked on. And I've worked on some bad games. It is the worst. So yeah, I'm not super thrilled. I mean, Deer Hunter 2014, while, you know, it wasn't the greatest thing in the world, it actually was a game that worked out, and you know, people really became fans of it, and it did pretty well. And so I didn't mind playing that one for you. But yeah, I don't know if I'm necessarily up for the humiliation of playing that old Kung Fu Panda game for you, because the Kung Fu Panda game that I worked on, the Kung Fu Panda 2 game, you know, it was during the last throes of THQ. When they were kind of just trying anything and everything to stay afloat. And so they, and at the same time, the studio that I worked for was, you know, they were watching the genre of licensed games based on kids' movies dry up, you know, and people were just not spending money on those kinds of games anymore. And so it was two desperate companies trying to make a project work. And so THQ had almost no money to spend on it, but we had to take whatever money was available because no one else was offering us money to do things. And so it was an extremely underfunded project. We were trying to do 3 different versions of the game supporting 3 extremely different peripherals: the Kinect, a regular DualShock controller, and the U-Draw tablet, which was a special, like a sort of a unique peripheral that was created by THQ during the same era when things like Rock Band were succeeding, and you know, the idea of making new peripherals was kind of the hot thing. They'd made the U-Draw tablet, which actually was a really, you know, interesting, useful piece of hardware for the particular games it was made for, but it was not a good fit for Kung Fu Panda. And so we with the budget of one cheap game, we made 3 different games simultaneously with the same team of mostly brand new junior people who had never worked in the game industry before. At least on the design side, like a couple of the designers that we hired, it was their first game job. And so you know, we were all struggling to do the best we could with a very bad situation. And everybody there, like, I still love the people that I worked with on that team. They were all really cool, and a lot of them have moved on to do really cool things in the future with their careers. But that game was a nightmare. And so yeah, it's really not worth looking at. Feel free to look up videos of it or something. You can see how embarrassing it is. Yeah, I'm not really that interested. I think it was probably the last game we did with our old Adrenium engine.
A buddy of mine found it in one of our old drop spots.
Oh, wait. We got a Wilkerson thing going on.
I'm guessing Eli put it there for safekeeping before, you know. Anyway, you're welcome. Take care.
You too, Mickey.
Okay, yeah, so that we're starting to hear Mickey and Lily reconcile, which is kind of fun. That's actually one of the things that, you know, when Andy and the mission designers were planning out how the story was going to go, the thing they really wanted to do, because, you know, we fumbled, like, we really wanted this game to be about hope, and there's so many parts of the game where we kind of fumbled that, and sort of, it's really easy to play this game as a nihilist, and if you just sort of approach certain things exactly the right way. I guess maybe we'll do Fraser's mission.
I'd like to work on.
Sure. And so they really wanted to lean into the idea that this game is about hope, and that they could make some missions that were about, you know, something that's a little bit more positive than just let's murder some people and take all their stuff. So they tried to find some of the, like, Mickey Wilkerson, who's got a lot to atone for, and tried to, you know, redeem him. You know, Ray Santos, who was kind of a sketchy character in State of Decay 1, really turned him into a sympathetic character that you just love, and it's really hard to see him go. You know, and stuff like that, like, you know, taking, you know, Isby just hating herself for some bad things that happened between Heartland and Homecoming, and watching her get, you know, redeemed and forgive herself. Like, all of these stories are about people overcoming trauma, overcoming, you know, guilt, redeeming themselves, and I think it was a really cool thing that they decided to do. I really like the direction that they took this. So we're going to go find Fraser's stash. Oh, is it at the Alamo? Is that the Alamo? That's kind of neat if it is. Let's head out.
Well, that was loud.
Oh, so Beardy Mac was asking which base location I was at. So yeah, this is Fort Marshall. And I wanted to sort of spend some time in practically all of the bases. Tranquility Factory was taken by the zombie trappers, and that's fine. I can leave one base off the list, but I have been saving the Farmland Compound for last. I think that actually was my favorite location to play in the original State of Decay, because it was so centrally located, and so that's where I'm going to be.
T-Dog used to leave the drugs for me.
T-Dog, are you sure this was legal?
I don't know. The restaurant had a few health code violations, but they always kept their license.
Someone just showed up on our doorstep. We should probably hear him out.
So I love that this mission, which was written a long time ago, and specifically sends you to a restaurant and talks about having health code violations, now that we're in Trumbull Valley, it sends you to the Alamo, which is a famously disgusting restaurant. Mostly because this room in here, before it was full of plague stuff, was just full of dead bodies. We called it the meat closet. And so it was such a gross restaurant. I love that they're talking about it having health code violations.
Well, if that ain't just perfect.
Yo, are you sure that bringing home a big stash of drugs isn't gonna cause any trouble?
Don't you worry. There should be enough for everybody.
Wow. So it looks like we've got a little container back there. Is it outside the building? Oh, it's outside the building. I was like, what the heck is going on with that? Okay, cool.
Well, now, want to come home with me?
Well, let's drop this off first. Ah! Oh, this little thing. I bugged this. This is really hard to get over.
I gotta catch my breath.
Oh my gosh, did they make it worse? Okay, whatever. Can I jump over this? No! Ah! Ah! I've got to go all the way around the Alamo. Ah. Dang it. Okay, fine. Not going to complain too much. It's fine. I'll be all right.
Place looks picked clean.
Yes, I definitely trust the big bag of food next to the meat-infested restaurant. The old, rotten, meat-infested restaurant. There was also apparently a stash house for a drug dealer. Let's just grab that food. That sounds delicious. So, Habitual Bell, I'm pretty sure... Now, I don't remember the details, but I was pretty sure that Malik was the only confirmed death at Jurassic Junction, that some of the other potential recruits might very well have made it. I know there's a grave for Malik. I didn't think that the others necessarily were confirmed as casualties. I could be wrong about that, because yeah, I did not know every detail of the storytelling that went on in here, but...
Now remember, this new stuff's for sharing.
Yo, check the expiration date on those drugs, people. We don't know where they came from.
3102 influence. Okay, I'm usually not super interested in mysterious stranger missions, but we're so close to being able to claim the farmland. I feel like we should give it a try. Oh, are they inside the base? I thought they were out... Dang it. I thought they were outside the base. Gotta run around an entire building again. Dang it. Cogs, I gotta get you used to game developer jargon, because I'm never gonna not talk like a game developer. So you might just have to get used to it.
Hey, come here, will ya?
Okay, so we're going to weaponize bloater gas and put it in a grenade. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's go kill some bloaters. Where are we headed? Up there. All right. So I'm assuming that... I'm trying to remember. I think these missions were... designed. Yeah, this is a Kale Shipman mission. I'm pretty sure Kale would have spawned 3 bloaters over at this place so that we could definitely kill enough. We'll see. Kale has since left the team. He actually, his last project was Aliens Fireteam Elite, and he worked on some really pretty awesome missions on that. So he's good at his job. So I'm going to rely on the idea that we're going to definitely have bloaters over here to shoot. Now I've set it up so if something goes wrong, it's all Kale's fault. That's not what I meant. Kale, you're great even if this doesn't work. You also had very limited tools. Our mission tools are actually... They've got some limitations. They're actually really great in a lot of ways, but there's also a lot of ways in which they are difficult to work with and don't give you all the options you always want. Now, cogs, so, I mean, the meaning of that word, when we're using it, like, the meaning of the word bug, as I use it as a verb, saying that, you know, bug something, which means writing it up as a bug, I've never had the slightest problem, yes, there are 3 bloaters in there, I've never had the slightest problem with game developers not understanding each other with that word. So I think you maybe see it as being overloaded and problematic, but so far I've never seen it not be useful. So, you know, I'm gonna go with my perspective on this one.
Hey Santos, it's Alexis.
Ooh.
We have a problem. Remember the folks who moved out of that farmhouse a while back? They just ran into some serious car trouble right outside of Danforth.
This guy won't talk until the radio commands are done. Until the radio messages are done.
Never mind. I suppose I know the answer to that.
Back in the day, Ray, you were the guy to see about cars. I figured you could find the part they needed.
I do know a good place to search down in Marshall, but that area is a little beyond my abilities right now. Thankfully, I still have a friend or two left in the valley who can help out.
That's good. Tell them to find me at our usual meetup.
Gotta wait for this whole intro.
Hasta la vista.
All he was gonna do was laugh and say goodbye. Well, now I got some bloater gas grenades. That's cool. All right. So, wait, is there another one? There's more bloaters in here? Oh, Kale, you outdid yourself. There we go. All right. So, we've got this Ray Santos mission. How are we doing for time? I think we've got time.
These people are in danger because of me. I can't fail them again.
How are we doing with influence? 3256. We might be able to cross over to 3500 with this last mission.
Heads up. Over here.
So let's meet up with Alexis.
I wasn't sure Ray would come through with his usual magic.
Ray needed our help, so I'm here.
Dang it, how many shots is that going to take? Oh, thanks, Alexis.
It's good to see you again. You ready to have good? Because I really did not want to go down to Marshall by myself.
Let's grab
The
some
place
stuff
we're
over here.
going isn't far. It should
Yay,
have apartment
materials.
names. I'll mark it on your map.
So yeah, the base we're moving to is a little bigger than our base, which I think means
If only I had room for it.
it'll be good for us to bring some extra materials. So, drop these suckers off. Drop that off. All right, Alexis, I'm ready to go. Oh! Quantum Priest just pointed out, I have not been paying attention to my bounties, that I had the kill bloaters with fire bounty up, and that would have been the perfect place for me to do it, just throwing one firebomb in there and killing them all. Oh, you're right. That would have been great. I totally missed that opportunity. Oh well, I'll have to remember it for next time I get an opportunity with some bloaters. Thank you, Quantum. Oh man, this mission was so weird. Like, there's so many things that we do in this mission that are just not usually done with our mission tools.
Yes, I'm still here.
It was very awkward to
Thanks for the
implement.
concern.
No problem, old man. We're almost there.
Hello.
Ray, remind us again what we're looking for.
You're looking for an intake manifold. It needs to be a very close match for what they're driving. Start by searching the warehouse towards the back.
No, stop, stop, stop. Get off me. Okay. So most of what I have is shotgun ammo. So I should probably just try to melee these zombies and then worry about bringing the shotgun into it when I have the big sort of CG experience at the end. So, like, for instance, being able to search a site and key an objective off us finding the site to be empty, that's a new mission tool we had never used in any mission before.
Multiple Z's incoming.
Oh. And you don't think of that as being a big deal, but, like, each little thing that you do in a mission that can complete an objective, that has to be implemented separately by a programmer. And so that's why you see missions doing a lot of the same things again and again, because doing the same thing again and again is something that designers can do by themselves. Each time we want to do something that's completely brand new, we have to involve a programmer in it. So let's find some more containers to search. Doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Ray, it's not here. We searched the whole warehouse.
That's okay. Try the wrecked car in the yard.
Dig through the rusty cars. Got it. You're lucky we like you, Ray.
Aw, I like Alexis. So I happen to know that it's these cars over here, but I'm going to run through all of the cars because this was hard to set up, and I want to appreciate it. Yeah, so Alexis is going to come over here and search each of these places. Getting her to do this correctly was not easy.
Well, I guess it's time to look around. As empty as it gets.
Magic Band? I'm not actually sure about that, location that you're describing. I'd have to go look at it.
Some noise to get the part we need. You can hold off the Z's, right?
Sure, I can hold off the Z's.
Good choice. All right, ready or not, it's time to get started.
So we actually had to cut this wall, this hole in the wall right here. Originally, this wall continued, this fence continued across this gap. But we had to break it open because the AI of the zombies could not figure out how to get from outside this place to Alexis. Oh, I love that the Fort Marshall is so close that my Haven device is actually killing zombies in this area. What the? That is a lot of those. Okay. Dang it. Luckily, okay. Alexis is immortal, but I'm not. So, Alexis, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Let's just go. Let's just go. Come on.
We've got a Z on us.
Let's kill all these guys the old-fashioned way. Okay. I think we're good. I actually want to make sure that I've searched that little piggy, though. So I'm going to climb up here. Alexis, you can take care of yourself, right? Yes! Little piggy towing hat. That's what we're here for. Oh, well, I'm at it. Oh, yay. 2 mechanics textbooks? Really? I've already got 4 mechanics. I don't need 2 mechanics textbooks. All right, anyway. Alexis, you wanted to go home, right? So Jedi Cytrix wants to know if Cash Beaumont, the bounty broker, has got lore behind why he wants you to do all this stuff. We put some thought into that, and so we did kind of come up with a story, but we haven't shared it, and we're not going to, because what if we want to come up with a different story later and retcon in a different backstory for him? So yeah, so I'm not going to share it. He wants the zombie bits. You know, he wants like you to do all this zombie research for reasons. But yeah, I'm not going to try to fill that in right now.
Looks like we're in the clear. I owe you one.
No problem.
Well, I gotta run. Those folks are counting on me to get this to them ASAP.
Hey, take care. You hear?
Thank you for helping, Alexis. I'm so sorry you had to cover for me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Fred. Everyone in the valley knows what you've done for him.
That's kind of you to say, but it's time for me to think about who will take my place after I'm gone. Trumbull Valley needs a protector. Someone who understands how precious this place really is.
I wonder who that protector is going to be. All right, so we just got some influence, and we would have gotten some from that fight, too. So how are we doing? Yes! 3569. Okay, okay. I was going to head back home to fix this car, but actually, what I should do is go and claim the Farmland Compound. head up this direction. Ah! So yeah, let's head over here. Let's leave this car out front, and then let's clear this place out. Actually, let's turn off the lights in the car. Not a fan of what the headlights currently do. Like, it turns out we kind of planned all the lighting in the game around not having really harsh headlights hitting stuff randomly. And so when we made the change to the way the headlights work, we kind of invited a lot of places to look weird.
Tidying up, and this place could feel like home.
Oh, by the way, one thing that I should call out is the fact that Brant actually put some specific work into making this place easier to clear. Originally, we had an entire house's worth of like little, you know, room dots that you had to clear, basically, in order to make this place claimable. But Brant actually deliberately cut that stuff down, so you only had to enter the barn, the house, and the 2 sheds to secure this place.
Something's still poking around out there.
Now I gotta figure out where the zombies are. Oh, here we are. Somebody's in here.
Yeah, I'm all run out.
Hello? There we go. Now it's secure. All right, we got it. Let's claim it. Cogs, those dots don't actually have a name. I just call them room dots. There's all kinds of different things you could call them. All right, we've moved into the farmland, and now I got to figure out how to build this base up so these people can live here. But this session has gotten long enough, so... Ooh, somebody wants to build a fighting gym. Great. Let's wrap this session up. So if you're watching this later on YouTube and you want to subscribe to my channel, I'll put a little button right there. The next time I play State of Decay 2, I'll put the session up there. I think this is my last session for today, though I might hang out with the folks who are watching me live right now and answer some more questions if they have questions while I put this base together. So, yeah, join me after that, and I'll see y'all later.